Of the MD Investor channel where we're talking about personal finance, setting goals, achieving goals, educating ourselves and our children so we can break the cycle of generational poverty. Today it's going to be a new video on the dividends we received from October 2020. I know today is election day, November 3rd, 2020, but no matter who wins, I'm going to need passive income and you're going to need passive income. So it doesn't matter. So let's get into it, okay? Before we get into it, guys, if there's people out there you think could benefit from the information, let them know about the MD Investor. Definitely, whether you watch it on Facebook, definitely go to YouTube at MD Investor and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when new content comes out. On Instagram, it's MD Investor 1. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. So October, we got paid from 15 companies. 15 companies paid us for just holding the stock and doing nothing. Okay? The first company that paid us was Albemarle. Albemarle. Ticker symbol ALB. They paid us $6.51. And this company, it's in the materials space. So they involved in like making like lithium for your lithium batteries, for your electronics gadgets and all that stuff. $6.51. The second company that paid us also on the same day, October 1st, was Coca-Cola. All right, you know about Coca-Cola, the biggest beverage company out there. They paid us a total of $8.53. The third company that paid us on October 2nd was Iron Mountain. Iron Mountain in the REIT space, real estate investing trust, right? You see their big trucks driving around all the time, and they're basically involved in like the data storage space. They involved in like shredding a lot of documents. A lot of times, like hospitals or other companies, they'll have documents with like personal information, and they will use Iron Mountain to shred them. Okay, so they paid us $23.71. Let's go take a look in the Seeking Alpha at Iron Mountain. Ticker symbol IRM. So here they are, $27.02 is what they're trading for. And let's go look into the dividends. So we see they're paying 61 cents, right? Almost 62 cents a quarter. So annual payout is $2.47. And you look at the price, you take the annual payout over the price, and we got a dividend yield of 9%, which is kind of high. We see the payout ratio is over 100%, which means that they must be somehow either taking debt or something like that. The 5-year growth rate is about 12%. So obviously that's something we may have to do a little more research into why the payout ratio is so high. Let's also go back and take a look into Coca-Cola. Ticker symbol KO. They're paying $49.44. Now you see when you look at Coca-Cola, you see the range, the 52-week range, anywhere between $36 and $60. So they're like in the midpoint of their range. The PE ratio, right? We did a video on PE ratio, right? 25, which means at this point now it's not such a great value because we said a great deal is like less than 10. 10 to 19 is like fair value. Over 19 or over 20, which is 25, so it's not a great deal. So you may want to wait. So let's look at the dividends. Coke is paid 41 cents, and it paid the quarterly, so $1.64 for the year. Over the price, give you a dividend yield of 3.37%. The 5-year growth rate is not that great, 5.5%, but they've been doing it for a long time, right? And that's the last one. Let's look at Albemarle, and then we will move on. Ticker symbol ALB. So we said it's in the material space. They're at the high part of their range now, right? Over the last 52 weeks, anywhere between $48 and $100. So pretty high now. PE ratio is also high, $27. Let's look at their dividends. They're paying 38.5 cents, and it's quarterly, so $1.54 for the year. You divide that by the share price. The dividend yield is not that great, 1.5%. Okay, so payout ratio is good, it's low, but dividend yield is not that great. Probably because the share price went up so much. Okay, let's go back to the M1. Okay, so the next pay date was on October 9th. We got paid by Altria. Correction, October 2nd, the same day, we got paid by Kimberly Clark. Kimberly Clark paid us $7.14. Kimberly Clark makes the maker of Kleenex brand with nose tissue. They paid us $7.14. Let's take a look at Kimberly Clark, ticker symbol KMB. So here we are, Kimberly Clark. They're trading right now at about $135, and we see that they're like in the midpoint of their 52-week range, so about $135, and the low is 110, high is 160. The PE ratio is 17, so fair value. Look at their dividends. $1.07, and they paid 4 times a year. So $4.28 for the year divided by the price give you a dividend yield of 3.1%. Payout ratio is good. The 5-year growth rate is 4.8, not that great. Let's go back to M1. The next pay date we got was on October 9th. October 9th, we got paid from Altria, ticker symbol MO, and they paid us. This is our largest dividend payout thus far, $1,180.60. So we got a big payday from Altria, and the reason why that is because I had some money in Procter & Gamble, which was paying a kind of a low rate. Took that money out and put it in the Altria, and you'll see why. Let's go to Seeking Alpha and go to Altria, ticker symbol MO. So Altria is a multinational, big multilateral company involving cigarettes, a cigarette company, tobacco company. And they split years ago into Philip Morris, which focuses on the US, and Altria, I believe, which focuses on international. I may have that backwards. Anyhow, ticker symbol is MO. Their share price is $37.17. And you see there, the 52-week range, they're like in the lower half. 52-week range is $30.95 with the low, and the high was 51. So at this point, they're a little in the low range, right? The PE ratio for them is 8, right? Which is considered a good deal. PE ratio is less than 9, right? So that's great. And you go to dividends, and you take the share price, correction, the dividend amount, 86 cents, and they paid quarterly, times 4, so you get $3.44 for the year. Divide that by the share price, your dividend yield is 9.4%. That's why I took the money out of the Procter & Gamble, which was paying about 2, maybe in the mid-2s, and put it here because I was getting a much better bang for my money. Payout ratio here is about almost 80%. The 5-year growth rate is about 10%, and they've been paying dividends for a long time. Okay, let's go back to M1. The next day, correction, the next payday was October 13th. Philip Morris, okay, also a cigarette company, and they paid us $17.76. So we can take a look at Philip Morris, ticker symbol PM. Let's take a look at that. Since they're in the same space. So Philip Morris International, ticker symbol PM. They're trading around $72.21. They're in the midpoint of their 52-week range. The PE ratio is about 13, so that's going to be like fair value. Dividend yield 6.7%. Also high yield. Paying $1.20, and that's quarterly. So $4.80 for the year. Divided by the share price, you got a dividend yield of 6.7%. Also really good. The growth rate is not as great as Altria, so only 3.5% over the last 5 years. Payout ratio is much higher, and the dividend growth has only been about 12 years. Okay, let's go back to M1. We got paid by Illinois Tool Works on October 14th, $4.39 and 48 cents. Then October 15th, the next day, Leggett and Platt. They're in the industrial space, made different things like mattress and bed springs and so on. They paid us $8.55. We can take a look at that real quick. LEG, ticker symbol. LEG, Leggett and Platt Incorporated. We see here the range, they're like in the midpoint of their 52-week range, right? The low is 22, the high is 55, so we're at 41. PE ratio is 22, okay. Let's look at the dividends for Leggett and Platt. So they're paying 40 cents, and it's quarterly. Make sure you guys can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, so 40 cents, and it's quarterly. So times 4, 40 cents times 4 is $1.60 for the year. You divide that by the share price of $41.10. Dividend yield is 3.6%. So not that great. The payout ratio is pretty high. The 5-year growth rate is not that great, but we'll hold on for them. That keeps us diversified. Let's go back to M1. Correction, let's go back to, let's go back to M1. So our next payday was October 15th, Realty Income, the monthly payer, right? All of these that we've done before is quarterly, every 3 months. So far, the first one is Realty Income, which is our monthly payer. So it's good to have a company that pays you every month, right? Because financially, your life is monthly. We want to build this up because this is going to be a monthly money that we'll get. Let's look at Realty Income. Ticker symbol O. So Realty Income is a company in the REIT space, REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust. So what they do is they buy a lot of real estate, and they charge rent, and because of that, they are able to pass on the rent, some of the rent profit, to the shareholders. The dividends that they pay are not qualified, right? They're considered ordinary dividends. So they won't be taxed at the favorable rate. So they'll be taxed at your ordinary income if you have it in a regular brokerage. If you have it in a Roth IRA, that's another level, and then you would not pay any taxes, okay? So they're $59. They're like in the midpoint range right now, in the 52-week range. If you notice, there will not be a PE ratio, because REITs, they don't use PE ratio. They use something called, they don't use EPS or earnings per share. They use something called funds from operation, FFO. And they don't use a PE ratio. They use, instead of price to earning, they use price to funds from operation ratio. Okay, that's what we use. The yield is good, about 4.7%. Let's look at the dividends. About 23 cents, and they pay it monthly. 23 cents monthly per share, okay? Obviously, you'd have to take 23 cents times 12 to get the annual payout. So you get 23 cents every month per share. So the more share you have, obviously, the better it is for you. The dividend yield is about 4.7%. So anybody in dividend investing, they all have realty income. Okay. As a matter of fact, their tag name is called the monthly dividend payer, and they've been doing it for a long time. Let's go back to the M1. On October 15th, we got paid by USB, which is US Bank, US Bank Corp. They paid us $7.42. We got paid from Medtronics on October 16th. Medtronics, right? It's in a medical device space, medical space, healthcare space. They paid us $13.56. Cisco paid us on, and they're in the business space. Cisco on October 21 paid us $12.67. Also, again, in the financial space on October 28th, Bank of Nova Scotia paid us $10.70. So you see a little diversification, right? You see in the financial space, we got US Bank, but then we also have Bank of Nova Scotia. So you're what you call diversified within a sector. On October 29th, we got paid $5.90. Shaw Communications, they're in the telecommunications space. It's a Canadian company. They're also a Shaw Communications, I believe. Yeah, I believe they are a monthly payer. Let's take a look at Shaw Communications. Take a symbol SJR. I believe they are a monthly payer. But let's confirm. SJR. Trading at $16.84. They're like in the midpoint of their 52-week range. The PE ratio is about 17, so it's a pretty good value, fair value. The dividends, they're getting about 7 cents. Yes, it's monthly. They are monthly. 7 cents monthly. Okay. The payout ratio, they're paying a pretty good yield, 5% yield. So that's our second monthly payer, right? Realty income and our Shaw Communication. Let's go back and finish this up. And our last one, also a monthly payer, October 30th, long-term care, they paid us $3.91. Okay? So for the month of October 2020, we got paid by 15 companies, and the amount we got paid was, I wrote it down here, $1,320.25. So $1,320.25 from 15 companies. The bulk of it obviously was from Altria. I paid us $1,180. So that's what's going on, guys, in the month of October. $1,320.25 in passive cash flow that we didn't have to work for. Just trying to grow the portfolio, trying to grow the passive income, because as we said before, no matter who wins, we're going to need passive income. And the whole idea of this is it's a compound, okay? So it's been about a year, maybe 11 months that we've been doing this. Now we're up to $1,320 in 1 month. What will the next month, the next quarter, the next 6 months, the next year, the next 2 years, the next 3 years, where will we be in terms of passive income? Obviously, it's something to look forward to, but we got to put the work in, okay? So again, guys, MD Investor is trying to encourage people to diversify and get passive income. Don't have all your income coming from one source. This is your money working for you. This is Oxens, okay? So until the next time, continue to be motivated. Continue to have your money work for you. If there's people out there you think could benefit, let them know about the MD Investor. On YouTube, it's MD Investor. On Instagram, MD Investor 1. And I will see you on the next one.